Hello there, it is Tuesday the 11th of April 2017. It's time now for more regressive news, and I'm going to ease you into this episode by giving you two stories very quickly. Amid complaints, Loyola to let students bypass Western civilization classes for diversity courses. Beginning in the fall, Loyola University Chicago students will have the option to bypass traditional Western civilization courses and instead enroll in diversity courses after students protested the Jesuit university's core curriculum as Eurocentric. Extraordinary. I mean, let's just forget the fact that America was largely founded by European immigrants, European settlers. That's problematic. Historical fact needs to be revised. Rewriting history, folks. Wonderful. Good to know that's being taught in major universities in the United States. Right U does away with master term, cites negative historical connotation. Has this got something to do with the slavery that all white people are still responsible? Okay, Rice University has agreed to officially change its title to the heads of its residential colleges from master to magister, saying master had to go because of its negative historical connotation. So politically correct. Okay, despite the fact that the term master may have originated, is such a fail. It may have originated as an abbreviation of headmaster or schoolmaster. Many are reportedly upset by the term because it's a reminder of slavery. More language policing. Anyway, we will move on to the first big story of the day. Anti-racism protesters segregated themselves by race. The protesters descended upon Claremont McKenna College Thursday night, deliberately kept white accomplices segregated from other protesters to serve as a buffer against the police. White accomplice. Okay, so firstly, we're segregating people based on their race. Martin Luther King is now turning in his grave. And then you are using one particular race, white people, as a buffer. Like a human shield against the police. But these are the good guys. These protesters, they're the real heroes. The mob forced political commentator and author Heather MacDonald to cut short a scheduled speech and was organised by a group called Shut Down Anti-Black Fascists. Apparently they're fascists because you disagree with them. That's really all you need in order to qualify as a fascist these days. You don't actually have to be a fascist. Although if you do shut somebody down this way, you are a fascist, but let's just ignore that fact. This was the communication that went out in order to organise the event. For white accomplices, please keep in mind that your role at this protest, aside from acting in solidarity with POC students at the 5Cs, the people are being given roles based on their race. And the whites are in the front, which means everyone else is in the back. Am I the only one getting that? Particularly black students, is to serve as a buffer between students of colour and the police. That means if the police come, it is imperative that you stay at the protest with fellow accomplices. Accomplices. The wording is just like, this is your partner in crime. Your accomplice in a crime. It's like they know what they're doing is wrong. The police are the bad guys. That's the narrative, right? That means if the police come, it is imperative that you stay at the protest with fellow accomplices and engage with cops should it come to that. Where was this shared? This was shared on Facebook. This was a group, the anti-black fascist group. I mean, it's exactly what Churchill said. I mean, in the future, the fascists of the future will call themselves the anti-fascists. And it says here that protest leaders shouted white students to the front, and yet they couldn't see the problem with racial segregation in 2017. And they also said that participants were not to engage with independent reporters or anyone else who's trying to derail this action. I think this is hilarious because basically they're afraid of looking bad. The students, the foot soldiers who go out and do the actual protest work and shout the same slogans, no justice, no peace, love trumps hate, or whatever the hell the protest is about, you know, those aren't exactly the sharpest tools in the box. They're very young, they're very naive, they've been very indoctrinated. And it's the college professors who are agitating these kids to become activists, to become social justice warriors, to becoming graduates who have a degree in something that will get them a job in the real world. They're the smart ones. The Marxist professors are the smart ones. They know it's so bad they're saying. That's been proven by, anytime Rebel Media goes to any similar protest throughout North America, they put a microphone in the face of some student and they say, why are you doing what's all about? You know, they're better at just, shouting the same slogan over and over again. Love trumps hate. They're better at that kind of stuff. They can't really get specific on why they're there because they've gone with the flow over the fact. So if they're asked something like, let's say it's an anti-Trump protest, which this wasn't admittedly, but let's say it was. I'm sure somebody had an answer. Sure. Let's say it was an anti-Trump protest. So what they say is, why do you think Trump's racist? What's he said that's racist? And then they disqualify. What's he said that's homophobic? And they can't get specific. They're afraid of the same thing, making them look bad. Unfortunately for them, they already make absolutely terrible engagement in. When correspondents from the Independent News office sought information from protesters, they were met with silence and often hands, throwing or signs pushed in their faces like no. The instructions also describe an accomplice meeting, partner in crime, at Scripps College, where protesters could learn more information about how to handle themselves in various situations, and I will let you read the rest of that. But it is very sad that people are falling for this once again. Identity politics. This is the issue now. We're just becoming so divided, and it's a long race. It's about skin color. It's about skin pigmentation. Politicians, big government, globalists is exactly what they want. They want people just destroying each other. They want the populace at each other's throats. They want us divided. They do not want us to come together based on shared values. Divide us based on gender, on race, on sexuality, on religion, whatever it is. There is room for optimism, however. Like a single blade of grass pushing through concrete, free speech is finding a way on college campuses, and if it finds a way on college campuses, it will find a way on the internet as well. Colorado students helped push law abolishing free speech zones. The plan on certain college campuses was to restrict free speech in specific areas on the campus. Colorado has officially approved legislation prohibiting public universities from restricting student expression to a designated free speech zone on campus. That zone should be the entire campus, of course, becoming the fourth state to do so after Arizona, Missouri, and Virginia. Marcus Foulkness, a student representative at the University of Colorado Boulder, was instrumental in promoting the legislation after securing passage of a resolution denouncing free speech zones on his own campus. Colorado has officially approved legislation prohibiting public universities from restricting free speech to designated free speech zones. According to the Denver Post, Democratic Governor John Hickenlooper signed Senate Bill 62 into law Tuesday, following its passage with overwhelming bipartisan support in both the Colorado House and Senate. The law prohibits the creation of any university rules restricting free speech and gives students the right to sue if they feel their First Amendment rights have been violated, allowing them to recover attorney's fees and court costs, but not additional monetary damages. So that is a good news story overall. Final story. What women in the world love about Justin Trudeau, according to audience members at Tina Brown's Summit. It's a feminist event, a little partisan, to say the least. What do they love about him? The fact that his hair is on fleek, and he's super nice, and he's dreamy. Right? Probably. Even in these deeply partisan times, it seems there is one thing that can still unite many Americans. A mutual love of Justin Trudeau. That's what it actually says there. A mutual love of Justin Trudeau. He's playing you. This is a trick. Okay? You're still being taken in by identity politics of feminism. He's trying to get a lock on the chick vote.
I am a feminist.
My boy Justin! Sup, bruh?
The Canadian Prime Minister and self-declared feminist has become something of an internet sensation since he took office in 2015. An internet sensation, yes, because of all the cringe compilation fail videos. Not for the reasons you think.
The question is not why does Justin Trudeau not love his country, because the question is ridiculous. I live this country in my bones every breath I take, and I'm not going to stand here and somehow defend that I actually do love Canada, because we know I love Canada. I love Canada. I love Canada. Favorite Baltic nation? That's not a thing.
I understand one of the priorities for you was to have a cabinet that was gender balanced. Why was that so important to you?
Because it's 2015.
And as I look at this beautiful room,
Round one.
Sisters upstairs, everyone here.
Because it's 2015.
Sisters upstairs.
Because it's 2015.
Sisters upstairs.
Trudeau was a guest speaker at the 2017 Women in the World Summit, where he took the stage for a conversation with event producer and host Tina Brown. They talked about a number of really pointless things. Trudeau was quick to say that though Canada may seem to some like a magical place, M103, yeah, that might one day eventually lead to a blasphemy law. And Bill C-16, speech control for getting people's gender pronouns wrong. Yeah, sounds magical. Also all the social justice, that's neither here nor there. So it might seem like a magical place because of universal health care, paid family leave, yeah, free stuff, big socialism, and stricter gun control laws. Yeah, because that's what I really want. I want to make sure that the only people who have guns are the police and criminals. That way I can't defend myself when a criminal who doesn't care about the law or gun controls breaks into my house and tries to shoot me to death and steal my stuff. Don't defend yourself. Is Canada basically like a cold version of California? Canada doesn't have the biggest military or population around. We know there are lots of ways of influencing the world stage. Yes, there are. Because you're turning the country into a gigantic fail. Okay, you're embarrassing Canadians at this point. People will look to Canada and go, that's the country we don't want to be like. Like Sweden. Don't become like Canada. That's how you're influencing the world stage at this point. They say one of the ways he spread that influence is through accepting 40,000 Syrian refugees into Canada. What's horrible about this is the fact that yes, there are Syrians who need help. But firstly, how many of those 40,000 refugees are actually Syrian? I mean, if you look at what Lauren Southern did when she went to the Calais camp, she found one Syrian, right? There's tons of guys all over the Middle East and North Africa. People like Justin Trudeau will use those conflicts to seem like, oh, I'm such a humanitarian. Give me the Nobel Peace Prize right now. Vote for me again because, look, you know, it's a PR exercise. Firstly, he should be more concerned with issues concerning Canada. Canadians in Canada, right? No, apparently it's about philanthropic work and a testament to everyone wanting to do more. This sounds like the same kind of pathological, altruistic thinking that we've seen from Sweden, and we've seen how that goes. Of course, at the Women in the World Summit, he spoke of the importance of bringing more women into business and politics, especially in leadership roles. Less men, affirmative action for women, sexism against men. Perfect, that's so progressive now. We have to lean on the success of each other if we're going to be successful. Look, I gotta break it down for you really simply. Okay, feminism is Marxism in a skirt. Marx and Lenin maintained that women's domestic duties were a form of slavery. Now, what people like Justin Trudeau want you to believe is that women, and indeed men, should be more concerned with their careers than their kids. Careers are transient, corporate bullshit. Get husbands and wives and mothers and fathers into the workforce. Get them both paying taxes and leave the kids in daycare. By the way, I made a video before explaining where Generation Special Snowflake came from. Where social justice warriors came from. The daycare generation. The generation most affected by low parental investment. Be a part-time mom instead of a full-time mom. Shame women who want to be a full-time participant in their child's upbringing and development. It's an issue that older ex-feminists can tell you all about. They'll tell you where this leads.
The social change in the last 40 years has been enormous. Thanks to feminism, right? But you know, but you can't say that it's all wonderful. Because the original feminists really didn't think about the children. And you saw a world of young, healthy, intelligent, thriving women. And we didn't really honestly take much notice of those who were not nice.
But you seem to be suggesting broadly that feminism hasn't turned out as well as you thought it would when you were younger.
No, it hasn't.
Do you need any more than that? An old feminist going, you know what? Didn't think about anything. Could there be any better example of why feminism is in the long run? I mean, this old lady is complaining that she is not a grown-up, basically. She has no family to enrich her life. She's just on her own. Oh yeah, she has jobs, she has a career, brilliant. But now it means nothing. And she's on her own. In her old age. Because that's what happens. People you know die. They move away, you lose touch. And you find yourself on your own.
They're alone. Broken, with no one to care or love them. Feminism is great for the economy in short term. More strain placed on stress.